Alright, what is going on, everybody? I am Outer Space Gaming, and in this video, it's going to be a little bit different, or a lot different, than what you guys have typically been seeing. So what I have in front of myself here today is a Steam Deck. So I got this Steam Deck a while ago, and recently for Christmas, I had gotten a few things to upgrade it, which is what this video is going to be. It is going to be me tearing down the whole system, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what we're going to be changing in the video as well. But starting off, what I want to do is I want to actually put the Steam Deck into a power saving mode. So I'm just going to hold the volume up button, press the power button, and hopefully that does it. Okay, so now we got to go down here to the utility, go to power, and then battery storage mode, and then it should turn the system off. Perfect. Alright, so I drained the battery. I did everything that Valve said to do, just as like safety precautions and stuff. And then let me show you guys what we're going to be changing out on the Steam Deck. So what I have is I have an extreme rate shell. So I'm going to be changing out the entire shell, both front and back, as well as some of the buttons. Now I might keep a few of the elements the same from the old Steam Deck, so I'm thinking I might keep the trackpads black, and then maybe some other buttons here and there for like some subtle, nice little accents. But this is going to be the first time of me doing a shell replacement. But if you guys have seen on my channel, I actually have disassembled my Switch before, and I changed it out, or I didn't change it out, but I painted it. So it was the exact same process as what I'll be doing here. Obviously the Switch and the Steam Deck are pretty different as far as like internals and everything goes, so this will be quite interesting. And then I also had gotten a SSD, a 1TB Corsair MP600 Mini. So this is going to come in handy for some of the bigger AAA games that are able to run on the Steam Deck natively. And then as well as those things, I do have some other stuff here. I have some isopropyl alcohol, 70%. You never know when you're going to need to clean something off, and I do want to check the thermal paste on the dies. And then I just have an assortment of small tools. I have some Q-tips as well, and then I have my little bit set in case one of the included screwdrivers isn't going to work for me. But this is going to be the first time of me doing it, like I said. I also do have a piece of paper here, and I'm going to show you guys what this is going to be used for later on. As well as some tape, and we also have the new boot for the SSD that we're gonna have to install on the new SSD once we get it in there. So, oh, and a pen. So the pen goes with the paper and stuff. You guys will see exactly what is going on with that. So this is what we're doing today, instead of an unboxing, and I don't know how long this is gonna take. I hope it's not too long because I only got about 3 hours on the camera here, but we're gonna find out. So let's get right into this. Now I don't think I'm going to be using the case as like a holder, so I was going to, but I don't think I'm going to now. I think I'm just going to end up doing this right here on the table, and then we'll just go from there, I suppose. And then I am going to try to keep everything in focus as best as I can. I know it's not the best angle, which I apologize for. My space is very limited. As you guys can see, this is my unboxing space. So I don't have like the best equipment to set this up super professionally, but fuck it, we're doing it. So first step is to actually remove the SD card. I do have I have a micro SD card in here, so we're just gonna take that out, and I'm gonna set this to the side here so I don't lose it, because that is a pretty big one. So now what we start off with here is we're going to take off each of the screws. Oh, and I also have a heat gun as well. I have a heat gun, so I will be able to take the screen off. I'm going to do both the front and the rear panels, so that's why this one's going to be a little bit more in-depth than just taking this back panel off and throwing a new one on. We're going to take everything out, put it all back in. So we do have a bunch of extra screws here too. I don't know what those screws go for. Unfortunately, the instructions for this were kind of vague. There's really nothing here that tells you like what to do and stuff. So kind of unfortunate there, but Really not a big deal. Alright, so... And I'm gonna do my best to kind of not, like, put myself into frame. Like, as best as I can. But, we'll have to see how this goes. So, let me show you guys now, actually, what the tape is for. So, I have this tape roll here, just some Scotch tape, some pretty simple stuff. It's kind of like a little bit of a budget teardown video. But that's only because I don't do this frequently enough to actually make an entire thing out of it. So what I do is, a piece is too small, is we want to tear off a decent sized piece of tape. Right? Just some Scotch tape, nothing too crazy. Don't use duct tape or anything like that. Or, I mean, you could use like masking tape maybe. And we're going to set the tape on the piece of paper. Alright, so now it looks something like that. You see the piece of tape is in the corner. So now, to keep track of all the screws, what we're going to do, what I'm going to do, is, I need a smaller bit. And I think we need a, I'm pretty sure it's a 0, which this one is. Okay. So what this tape is used for is, what the fuck? Hello? This is the right size. Let me take out the screws. Okay. It's pretty tough, and I don't... So because I don't have, like, an actual holder for this, I really don't want to press down super hard and ruin any of the faceward components. But I'll show you guys real quick. So here we have the screw. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick the head of the screw on the tape just like this. You guys can see that screw there. And then now underneath I can write back plate. You know, so I know exactly which screws go where. And I'm going to try to keep the camera in focus as best as I can. I don't think it should unfocus too frequently. I hope it doesn't. But I'm going to be focusing more on the task at hand, obviously, because I do want to do this. And it's something I'm quite excited for. But I will do my best to keep everything in focus, in line for you guys, so you can still see what's going on. But this is basically what we're doing. So I'm just going to take all these screws out, and then I'll fast forward it, and you guys can see me take off the back plate. Alright, so I got all of the screws on the back off. Let me just double check actually. And yeah, we got them all off. So now I'm going to take this little spudger tool, this little wedge tool, and just stick it right in between, or try to stick it in between the halves of the system here. Which I might need to use this one. It is kind of handy that they included these, because for some reason my screwdriver wasn't working. So kind of unfortunate, but at least they gave us the tool. So now we're just gonna pry this open, and I'm trying to keep everything, oh gosh, in frame here, but some of this stuff, there we go. All right, it is quite difficult trying to keep it in frame. This is the first time of me busting the system open too, so, and there was actually some thread locker on the on some of these screws, which is why they were so difficult to take out. So this is first teardown ever of my my Steam Deck, but we're gonna try and make this work here. Pop it up. Alright, and now you can kind of just go around, make sure all these clips are coming off. Boom. And there we go. So there's the back panel off. Looks pretty cool. Let me just see if I can zoom or focus here a little bit better. So there's the back plate, very cool. And now we have the internals. So like I said, this is the first time of me seeing the internals like face to face. I've seen it on camera before and stuff, but this is definitely the first time. So it looks like for this motherboard shield, we are going to have to take off a couple of screws, not a whole lot. It looks like actually just one in the corner there and then one down here. So let me mark on my paper the back plate screws. And then let me get another piece of tape to put on the piece of paper. And you guys don't have to do it like this. I mean, obviously, if you have more tools available or like an organization tray or something, you can just put them in the trays with like maybe a little tag so you know what screws go where. But this is how I'm doing it for now, just because, like I said, I don't do enough modifications to these things to really justify the necessity for something like that, like a tray or something. And oh man, dude, these screws are so small. They're so tiny. So that's also why I did it like this. Normally I would probably just set them to the side, but I do want to make sure I'm putting the correct screws in the correct spots, so that way nothing gets lost, because they are extremely small. And let me see here, looking for some tweezers. Where are my tweezers? There. Alright, so these are unfortunately metal tipped tweezers, but I don't think I'm going to be bridging any components anytime soon. There we go. Alright, so now this shield should just come right off, hopefully. No, where are we still attached? Okay, there we go. So it's just the heat pads were on there. Yeah, okay. Alright, so we got the motherboard shield off, and now what we're gonna do then is disconnect the battery. Come on. There we go. Okay. Got the battery disconnected. And so, what is going to be the next thing here? Let me grip my phone real quick. So I don't mess this up, because I really don't want to mess this up. Okay, so it looks like we can just start from one end and then kind of work our way down. So that's what I'll do now. Let me just mark the motherboard shield. Alright, let me get another piece of tape, and then I guess we'll just kind of work our way left to right. We'll undo all the ribbon cables and stuff, and then we'll do the that right side analog stick and trackpad. We want to make sure we undo the ribbon cable as well. The lock for the ribbon cable, I mean. Because you don't want to rip any cables out of their sockets, because then that's really bad. But there it is. There is the right joystick as well as the daughter board attached to it. So I'm just going to set that on there. I'm not going to tape it. I'm just going to set it kind of next to it. You guys can see over here kind of what I'm doing. And then let me mark this as well. And I think I'm going to save the SSD for last, because I'll have to take off this heat shield as well. So I'm just going to save that for last until I get everything else reassembled in the new shell. So now what I guess we'll do is I guess we'll just disconnect all the ribbon cables. Man, it's a lot of small little ribbon cables too. Alright. I apologize if it's a little fuzzy. Yeah, I've never actually done like a recording before when doing any of this stuff. And that's kind of why I made it pretty simple in the video that I did with my Switch Lite. Because this is just kind of like an intricate process. And so it might get a little boring after a little while. But I just wanted to show kind of like the whole thing that I did with changing this out from last time. Well, not last time, but like this is exactly what I did for the Switch Lite, obviously. It's just taking out a whole bunch of little screws and stuff. But we're moving, we're going. And so I'm not entirely sure how this whole assembly piece is supposed to come out. There we go. So we got this. And now it looks like I might just be able to take out this whole board maybe. Let me see. I got the video playing in the background just so I like really don't mess anything up. Come on, back buttons, come off. There we go. Whew. Man, that does not feel good. So there we go. We got the R2 button off. Man, I don't like that at all. Feels so janky. Feels like I'm about to break it. We'll just we'll continue on here. Trying to grab all this stuff off. And so these are for the left trigger. And there is the plate for it. So now, just gonna take all this stuff off. This is a lot of me figuring it out kind of as I'm doing it. So just kind of bear with me, I guess. But we're doing it. I mean, I've taken apart a few things before, and I've built my own computer and everything, so nothing super crazy. And then let me just mark that real quick and then get some more tape on here. So this is the right trigger assembly. And now we got the right daughter board for the whole thing. Or the trackpad, it looks like. That might be for the trackpad. Alright, and we should be able to take this off. I just want to make sure I got all the ribbon cables removed. Which I don't, because there's something over here on the side. It looks like some tape or something. What is this? That's kind of weird that that one was taped on there. I'll try and save that. I'll try and save the tape for it. Let me zoom out here. There's a little piece of tape on this ribbon cable over here to the side. So I'm gonna try to keep that one, keep that there. Just take this off. Just like that. Disconnect this. There we go. There is the right. Oh, the fuck? Oh, it's for the button. Hold up. I dropped the little membrane that goes to the button on the side here. Oh gosh. No. It's fine. We're good. Just a little membrane. I think this, I don't know, it might not come with the membranes, but it was just sitting right in there. We'll leave it off. So now this is the right daughter board. Actually, you know what? I'll keep the membrane off and I'll just put it over here. So now let me write on this paper here. Okay, so this looks like it is the trackpad. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in here, and I'm not gonna completely disconnect every little every little ribbon cable, because this cable is only attached right here. So we're just gonna leave that, let that be. So it looks like to take the trackpad off, we just gotta take off the 4 screws that are sitting around here. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. We'll see. Alright. Oh, yep. It looks like we got some action here. We got movement. Alright, so this obviously... Oh, gosh. This obviously goes to the trackpad. So I'm just going to set that there. And so it looks like now I got to do 4 more little screws. Right next to what these appear to be like coils or something, maybe. Let me write this down. There's a lot more to this than there was with the Switch, man. I'll tell you what, but it's pretty cool. So this is we'll do right trackpad board. Okay. So now we got to take off 4 little screws in the corners. Give me that screw back, please. And so unfortunately the tools I have are not magnetic, which kind of sucks. But that's why I have the tweezers. So I can just easily pull any component or any screw, any piece out with, I guess, relative ease. So those are all those out, so now we should be able to pull out the entire trackpad, make sure nothing is connected. There we go. Okay, just had to snag a little bit, and there's the trackpad. Right side trackpad. Looks pretty cool. So now we'll put that right there, and we will mark that right trackpad. My handwriting is horrible on here, but it's only because I'm trying to be a little bit quicker, as opposed to like really taking my time and doing this super slow, because I don't want to run out of footage, and this is quite a lengthy process, which is why I'm trying to go fast, but I'm also trying to go a little slower as well. So, for you guys, I'm doing this for you, man, okay? In here. I don't think there's any loose components, so I'm just gonna spin this bad boy around real quick so we can do it this way. And now let's get all these ribbon cables unplugged first of all. That's like one of the first things you want to do typically when working on these kinds of systems is the ribbon cables. They're pretty important as far as like transferring voltage and data and all that jazz. And I don't know, I might speed up some parts of this video, but I think for the most part I'm gonna let it run, just because well, if you wanted to skip forward, you could always skip forward, but at the same time, it is kind of nice to kind of see like the process of doing this in case you're somebody who's interested in doing this. Now, obviously, this is not going to be like a tutorial like how to do it, because I myself am watching a tutorial while I'm doing this. But it's just something interesting that I like to do, apart from the gaming videos and the Funko Pop unboxings. I do like to take electronics. I don't know if I really like to take them apart a whole lot, but the customization factor, I think, of systems like this is what makes them really cool, and what makes them particularly stand out to me. So there we go. We got the old left joystick out. So there is the left joystick. Now I did have an issue on my right one where it was making a bit of like a subtle clicky noise. So I'll have to end up looking at this one right here, my right joystick, and seeing if that's something that can be resolved through just like bending maybe some little metal back or whatever. But there is the left thumbstick, very nice. And just so you guys can kind of see what it's looking like over here on the paper. So we got pretty much all these components here so far. So this is kind of how I would do it if I were you guys and you wanted to do this yourself at home without having to spend tons of money on like the special mats or like an organizer tray or something. I usually put them up in here in this part of my tool set, but I wanted to keep it organized and I knew it was going to be a lot of components, so that's why I opted to do it this way. Just a little heads up. I actually learned the tape thing from somewhere. I don't remember where it was, but it's very helpful, especially if you do it on like a piece of paper like this, and then you can write down what each one of the screws are. It is extremely helpful for anybody who has a Steam Deck and is looking to modify it, or somebody who is looking to get a system that is modifiable, which this is pretty simple stuff, not gonna lie to you. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. The only issue that you would probably run into would be like what screws go into what holes, how many screws go into what component to keep it in, things like that. And that's usually the hardest part, and then replugging the ribbon cables in is definitely up there, because some of them can be quite small and cumbersome, which is something that you don't want to have to deal with too much. So this is going to be a one-off thing. That's why I'm doing it all in one go. And I also wanted to see too if we can maybe rectify the slight light leak that I get on my Steam Deck. I'm sure you guys might have been able to see it on the beginning of the video, but when I turned it into like the power save mode. But I do get a bit of light leak coming from the bottom corners of the screen. So I'm hoping maybe that can be an issue that can be resolved through just replacing the adhesives on the screen when I put it into the new shell. But we'll have to see. The left outer board screws, and then this is I kind of did it a little out of order, but it's just because I can't hardly see what the hell is going on over here, because this stuff's in the way. I'm just gonna rotate this real quick, and man, oh man, it's a good thing I did this too, because it had like a bunch of grime and stuff on the corners, like the edges. You know how this stuff goes. So let me screw that back in. God dang it, I gotta screw it back in. I really don't like this whole taking off the triggers thing. The triggers are quite on there, and it is just plastic holding it on, which is something I really don't like having to take off. So let me see. They got a certain little technique about it. Yeah, that's the part I really don't like. I don't like that part at all. But I did it now. Okay. So let me And I would zoom it in more so you guys can kind of see exactly what's going on here. But like I said, this isn't a tutorial video. This is just me kind of wanting to take my deck apart and you guys can kind of see the whole process. So if you can't like see every little last screw that I'm taking out, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. You guys can find other videos on the internet regarding that. This is just something I wanted to put on my channel because I did it before with the switch light, not the teardown process, but the basically the after the teardown process and then after the custom painting process. So now let me mark this on my paper for left trigger assembly. Alright, so now I can take this screw out. I was flexing the whole board, I didn't like that, so I had to take this one out. Or I had to put this one back in, sorry. I had to put it back in because I didn't want it flexing and snapping something. And we do have this tape here on the side, as well as we had on the other side. We're just gonna peel that bad boy back. I might keep it, I don't know, there might be a reason why they taped it on there, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe to see if somebody's been in here messing with stuff. What the fuck is that? But we're gonna put it back on just in case, because I think having tape on these ribbon cables would be nice, especially considering that they are so small. They're so tiny. Here we go. Now this should come up. Oh, I gotta undo this here. This might be the power delivery for it, I'm not sure. And there we go. So there is the left side daughter board for, basically it looks like it's the two back buttons maybe, or the, sorry, the trackpad. Not sure. I think it's a trackpad. Because I think the back buttons are somewhere else, not sure. Those might be the back buttons though, but yeah, these might be for the rear buttons. So these little two bad boys right here for the rear, you know, you got the two buttons that you can click in the back. So that is the left daughter board. Very good. Okay, so now we just got to take off the touchpad. So now we can take this piece off, which is going to be the basically the board for the left side trackpad. So let me just mark that down wherever my pen may be. And oh gosh, oh, okay. Don't want to lose the old membrane there, so we'll just put that there. And so this is left track board. Okay, my handwriting's getting worse. Don't know what's happening. I'm running out of paper room. I'm running out of room on my paper, so it's getting a little spooky. But I think for these bigger components, I'm probably not going to mark them. I'm gonna see if maybe I can just throw them in here in this tray. But we'll see. I like I said, I like to keep everything organized so I know like where it's going, especially in smaller stuff like this. You know, if it was like some IKEA furniture or whatever, it's like, who cares? Plus the instructions tell you where each screw goes. So I don't know where each screw goes on here. It is quite a mysterious mystery. Now we're getting ready to get rid of the trackpad. Well, not get rid of it, we're gonna remove it. If I could get my screwdriver to grab it. Grab that screw, please, screwdriver. Thank you. And this kit basically did come with some hardware. And I have actually Extreme Rates video up right now as I'm taking this apart, which will be helpful for me hopefully with the screw placements, because they have replacement screws for some of these parts and I don't know exactly why. They could be like different sizes or different lengths or something. Well, they'd have to be the same size, but definitely probably a different length. Maybe there's some of them are shorter, some of them are longer or whatever. And let me just, oops. Let me get this side unhooked. There we go. And there we go. So there is the left side trackpad off. Pretty cool. And let's mark that here. So left trackpad. And you can see that now we're starting to get down into it. Like that's like the main stuff to do. Obviously we still have the face buttons and stuff to do, which I don't think there's anything loose in here, so we can flip it over. So we have mostly the face buttons. Oh, that's just this button. We'll take that out. And I guess we'll take out this other button as well. So we just really have the face buttons to do, and then all of the motherboard, the whole motherboard. So let's get to that right now. Yeah, alright, we're good. We just have to, just gotta disconnect it from the board. So let me plug it, push it back in there, and then take that off. And bam. There is the cooling solution for the system. There is the, I'm not sure if that's the CPU die or the GPU, or I mean, I guess it's the same thing. So there's the CPU slash GPU die. And I'm assuming these little things right here are the RAM modules. So there we go. We got the heat pipe plus the fan assembly removed, which is very cool. And it's really starting to come apart now. So now it looks like I think we can take this board out. Just got a little ribbon cable up on the top here. Go. And I don't know This looks like it might be an antenna. I'm not entirely sure. But I am gonna have to unplug that somehow. There we go. And there is pretty much the entire system, for the most part. Basically what runs everything. So that's pretty cool, and I am running out of rooms here, so I'm gonna have to set this one to the side. I've got like parts everywhere. But okay, so now we got to make sure that we can take out this battery. Please, there we go. All right, so there are the there's the audio buttons as well as the headphone right there. So there's that board. So I'll put that down now. Volume and headphones. Volume should just be fine by itself, but I'll just put them both there. We'll put that piece to the side. So now, just looking at it, we got some speakers here. So these are the speakers, which is actually what those cables, so these are not antenna cables, those are for the speakers, which this right here and here. And I'm not sure if those just come out or how it is we go about doing that. But it looks like now they're taking out the screen, but I still have a few components here that need to be removed. So here, let me move all this stuff out of the way, and I'll get the heat gun hooked up. Okay, so I think I should be good to take this stuff off. Let me see here. Let me put this screw, I'm gonna put this screw back in. Because I'm not sure why they're actually putting on the, or they're taking the screen off now, which kind of, we'll see how this goes, because I do have a screen protector on here too. So that is, we'll just see. Hopefully I can keep the screen protector on there. If not, I suppose, I think I have another one sitting somewhere. gosh. Whew, suffered a little bit of a battle wound here. That damn spudger thing there, this scraper. That scraper right there is sharp, dude. Look at that. Fucking got my blood all over it. Gross. But we're good. Looks good. Everything is good. Woo. Alrighty. So now we got the screen off. Now I think we can take out the rest of the components on the inside. So let's flip this bad boy over and get this whole big panel off maybe. Actually no, we're supposed to take off a bunch of really small screws in the front now. So here, let me put this stuff to the side. I'm gonna have to put another screen protector on it, but that's alright. Alright, and I did hit the camera a few times, so I apologize if that's not the angle we started off on, but we are here now. And let me get a band-aid on actually. Let me put a band-aid on this bad boy so I'm not bleeding all over my system. Alright, so now apparently we have a bunch of really small screws that we gotta take out here on the front panel, or on the front of the device. And I am gonna have to tape these ones for sure because they are very small. Very, very small. So let me bring back my whole setup here. All right. And we'll just use the tape that I had sitting on here from the other stuff I was gonna take apart. Alright, so now we should be able to just pull this whole thing off, right? Come on, baby. Show me the Carfax. Well, there are the speakers, I suppose. Right there. Speakers. Alright, look at that. Oh man! Taking this thing apart is a definite crazy thing. But we're looking pretty good still. And now I gotta put this screw. I'm running out of room for sure in there, so I'm gonna have to put it inside of my little tool tray. But this will be for the right side trigger. well, there's the left side trigger, or button, L1 button. So I'll just stick that there, I suppose, so I can know. Man, sometimes when I'm pulling out these buttons and stuff, I feel like I'm playing Operation. I think as it stands, that is everything off of the old Steam Deck. So there is the old shell. You guys can see the black one. Now we get to the fun part, which is putting it all back together in the new shell. Alright, and here we go, dudes. This is going to be what my Steam Deck is going to be sitting in once we are done. And this is the, it's like a bluish purple. At one angle it looks blue, and then at another angle it looks purple, so it's very cool. Very cool looking. Let me just take this apart here real quick. Alright, and then we'll throw the back panel somewhere out of the way, because that will be the last part. And now we got to start working in here. So let me just see all the other included stuff. Alright, I had to grab the volume and the power buttons off of this one. But actually, I don't think I do. Let me... Oh, I got so much stuff over here. Alright, let me move some stuff around here real quick. Alright, so right now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of like set the buttons in here and stuff. I want to see if I want to keep some of the buttons black. So I don't know if I want to do it like this or like this. I feel like that's a little too much with the colorful buttons. So I think maybe I'm gonna keep the buttons black, as well as the trackpads. Alright. Yo, what is going on, everybody? I am post-production Outer Space Gaming. This is me editing the video. I just wanted to pop in and just let you guys know that this was pretty much the end of the teardown, just because this was the reassembly process, and on top of that, my camera actually had died during it, which I didn't really notice until way later. So you guys are just going to have to see the end result, which it does look really cool, but unfortunately this project took me a lot longer than I had anticipated. I was having a lot of issues for some reason with the USB transferring the boot drive that I had downloaded off of Steam's web page. And I couldn't get it to boot off of the USB. There was some partitioning errors, as well as some other stuff that was going on with it for some reason. And I think it's because I used that USB previously to install Windows on it. And even after having gone through the command prompts, like the command in Microsoft, and clearing all the partitions and clearing the drive pretty much to a fresh, clean drive, it still was not working after having downloaded it again, and I tried multiple times. So unfortunately, as it stands at this moment, I do not have the 1TB Corsair SSD installed into the system. However, I did get everything put together, and the system looks and it runs great. It looks awesome, man. I love the blue and the purple, as well as the black accents. I'm really happy that I went with going with the black accents. Now, I did want to do the rear paddles as well, but I wasn't able to actually remove the rear like pedals on the back because they were like plastic riveted in. So unfortunately, I could not reuse those black components. However, I think overall the two-tone scheme with the accents in the front and then the full blue-purple in the back looks pretty cool. But that was pretty much the entirety of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed working on this project because, like I said in the video, I do enjoy stuff like this. And I think it's just really fun and cool. So let me know what you guys think of the shell color as well as the accent colors and my choice to go with the original buttons as opposed to the colorful buttons. And that's pretty much everything I have for you guys. So if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like if you guys want to see videos pretty close to this one. I have Funko Pop unboxing videos and I do stream as well. So go ahead, go check out the channel, hit that subscribe button, and stick around, join the Space Cadets, man. It's a lot of fun. So I'll catch you guys in the next video, and you guys enjoy yourselves, so peace out.